Food deliveries are ancient history. Your local supermarket is stripped down to bare shelves and dust. Your neighbors are asking way too many questions about those cherry tomatoes growing in your backyard. They're not being friendly. They're counting what you have. You've got about 3 days before hunger stops being a feeling and starts deciding things for you. Survival isn't poetry, it's physics, and it doesn't negotiate.
We're not meal prepping. We're building a doomsday pantry made of calories, foods that treat decay like a suggestion, foods so chemically stable, time gives up. These aren't recipes, they're weapons against time, proven over centuries and sealed by spite. We're going to fix this using physics, chemistry, and a complete disrespect for expiration dates. Here's what they don't tell you. Food doesn't just expire on its own. That idea was sold to you by a civilization that had lawyers, trucks, and working refrigerators. Food gets destroyed by 3 things: water, oxygen, microbes. The apocalypse doesn't care if a date on a can says Best Buy. It cares whether the chemistry still works. Expiration dates assume refrigeration, trucks, and working power. You no longer have those. Salt is the first thing that survives everything. It doesn't rot, it doesn't age, it doesn't host life. Salt pulls water out of cells until bacteria shut down. No moisture, no metabolism, no survival. This is why humans stopped starving every winter. Store salt dry. Anything airtight works. Mason jars, Tupperware, that plastic container under your bed that you store recreational plants in. Salt doesn't care. It'll outlast your house. It'll probably even outlast your bloodline. Iodized or not, doesn't matter. Both survive. You want both if you can get them. Table salt for preservation, iodized salt for basic nutrition. Sugar comes next. Sugar doesn't expire. It just hardens. It binds water enough that microbes can't function. Microbes show up thirsty and leave disappointed. Sure, it might turn into a brick. That's fine. Bricks can be smashed. Sugar is a sweet desert where bacteria dehydrate into dust. Calorie-dense, morale high, and refusing to expire. White sugar lasts forever. Brown sugar tries, but the molasses fights back. None of it matters. All of it works. Then there's honey. Honey is what happens when bees accidentally invent immortality. Low water content, low pH, natural antibiotics. Archaeologists found honey in tombs older than empires and ate it. The pharaohs turned to dust, but their honey stayed golden. Crystallization isn't expiration, it's honey taking a nap. Warm it gently. Sunlight, body heat, time. Honey is amber-colored spite against decay. Raw honey has enzymes that stop infections. Your ancestors knew this before they knew what enzymes even were. A spoonful stops coughs. A smear closes wounds. A jar buys trust from strangers. Honey is currency when money becomes worthless. Now carbohydrates. White rice survives because it had its weaknesses removed. Brown rice still has oils, and oils oxidize. White rice had its souls stripped out during processing, and that's exactly why it lives forever. No fats, no oxidation, no rot. Seal it. Buckets, bottles, bags inside bags. Keep moisture out like it's your ex asking for favors. White rice is the concrete of survival foods. Boring, strong, and never apologizes. You'll be eating rice that's older than your last relationship and somehow more reliable. Jasmine, basmati, long grain, those weird shell shapes. This is edible building material. Low moisture, dense structure, nothing for microbes to drink. They arrive, find no water, and dry out on contact. 20 years from now, you'll boil it over a fire made from furniture. It'll taste exactly like it did before the collapse, which is to say, like cardboard. Cardboard that keeps you breathing. Egg noodles last a bit less. The yolk fights time harder than plain wheat does, but even they'll give you years if you seal them right.
Canned food is next. A sealed can is a time capsule that refuses to age. That can of peaches from 2019 that you bought for a recipe you never made? Congratulations, it's now dinner. High heat sterilization destroys everything that wants to destroy you. Airtight seals keep new threats out. No oxygen means no spoilage. Dents don't matter.
Bulges do. If it hisses when opened, something inside is having a party you weren't invited to. Your nose is smarter than your fear. That can opener? It's access to protein suspended in time. Tuna, chicken, spam that gets laughed at until the shelves are empty. Canned soup is liquid hope. Add water if you want, eat it cold if you can't. Your standards will adjust faster than you think. Dried beans come after that. They look like gravel. They sound like gravel. They don't taste much better. But they are protein, fiber, and the sheer will to live. Low moisture, thick cell walls, and nothing for bacteria to sustain themselves on. Seal them properly, and time gets confused and leaves them alone. Beans are rocks that learned how to keep you alive. Black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans that'll poison you if you don't boil them hard enough. Learn which needs what. The body keeps score. Lentils cook faster. They're what you grab when time is already a problem. Split peas break down even quicker. Same nutrition, but less patience required. Beans outlast relationships. They outlast governments. They win by being awful. Canned fruits and vegetables matter more than people admit. They're not comfort food, they're damage control. When your body starts threatening scurvy, texture becomes irrelevant. You stop asking if it's good and start asking if it works. Peaches, corn, green beans, tomatoes that barely remember being alive. The same canning science applies. Heat, seal, and sterility. The color will be wrong, the texture will be mush. Your expectations will immediately lower. Vitamins are still vitamins, and your body doesn't care what year they're from. It doesn't want nostalgia, it wants to stay in one piece. Canned pineapple tastes like a memory of better days. Canned spinach tastes like iron and survival. Both matter. Tomato sauce becomes base camp for every meal. It's not a topping, it's camouflage. Pasta disappears into it. Rice stops being sad. Beans finally soften and admit defeat. The acid keeps it stable. You keep it sealed so it lasts. Oats don't spoil easily. They're just grass seeds that learned how to survive neglect. Low oil, low moisture, dense energy that doesn't ask questions. Seal them, forget them. They'll be ready when you're not. Oats are edible patience, and patience tastes boring. Rolled oats, steel cut, instant, all of them last. All of them fill the hole in your stomach that used to be breakfast. Cook them with water, cook them with nothing. Eat them raw if desperation gets a vote. Your ancestors did worse. You're not making memories here, you're making it to tomorrow. Then powdered milk. It's not milk, it's the memory of milk. It's what astronauts drink when they can't have real things. You're an astronaut now, except your mission is Tuesday. Calcium and fat reduced to dust and sealed away. Moisture is the enemy here. One drop of water and it becomes dairy concrete. Keep it dry. Years later, add water and disappointment. Your bones will still thank you. Powdered eggs exist too. They taste like chalk. Nobody asks for seconds. But they're protein without refrigeration. That's magic dressed as powder. Vinegar doesn't expire. White vinegar, apple cider vinegar, acetic acid so hostile bacteria don't even try. A pH low enough to end arguments. Store it in glass if you can. Plastic might give up first.
Vinegar pickles food, cleans wounds, and gets used when clean water isn't an option. It's not food, it's a tool that happens to be drinkable. Baking soda comes next, a white powder that handles problems. It absorbs smells, slows rot, and settles stomachs that are done negotiating. It doesn't look like much until something goes wrong. Then it matters. Mix it with vinegar and it reacts instantly. Foam, gas, proof the world still follows rules. Chemistry doesn't expire. It only reacts when the conditions are right. Cornstarch stays plain. White powder, no smell, no opinion. It thickens thin food, holds soups together, turns liquid calories into something you can chew. Keep it dry and it doesn't change. Flour tries to survive. The oils inside it eventually turn on it. White flour lasts longer because less is happening inside. Store it sealed. Store it cool if you can. Rotate it sooner than rice or beans. Some foods wait forever. Some just need to last long enough. But in a pinch, flour becomes bread. Bread becomes hope. Hope becomes another morning. Peanut butter is the exception to every rule. It has oils, it should oxidize, it should quit, but the density saves it. Sealed jars last years, open jars last months. Protein, fat, calories that stick to your ribs like duct tape. It doesn't need refrigeration, it doesn't need cooking, it doesn't need silverware if things get bad enough. Peanut butter is proof that sometimes food just refuses to follow the rules. And now the part nobody likes to admit. People. Hunger erases ethics faster than fire erases paperwork. Your neighbor who you wave to every morning is now calculating whether your friendship is worth breaking your window for a 7-year-old can of tuna. They're not evil, they're just hungry. Be less appealing than their other options. You don't protect food with locks, you protect it with uncertainty. Leave empty containers visible, scatter spoiled packaging, let vinegar smells hang in the air, label things chemical, medical, normal use not advised. You're not hiding calories, you're haunting them. People avoid unclear risk under stress, they move on to easier prey. Bury half your supplies, seal them in PVC pipes, mark them with rocks only you understand. The ground doesn't gossip. Keep a decoy stash, enough to look real, not enough to matter. When they find it, they stop looking. You stay invisible. Trade carefully. A can of soup buys information. A jar of honey buys silence. Never show your full hand. Collapse isn't about hope. It's about chemistry. It's about which calories survive physics longer than you do. The best pantry isn't comforting. It's dry, sealed, and built to outlast you. You're not trying to be invincible. You're just trying to survive longer than the environment wants you to.